tabi soitin hayay bihidiran ulinato nasaram mutayras emes vichayeyiram mai I know tabi soitin I borrow I am like I am the food I borrow I borrow like Moed I am like Shebranu Hidinanu Linatan Nasananu Tairases I know Tabi Soifenu Hidinanu Minaton Nasananu Tairases
Check.
Yes, because by the time you told me yes, the guy was in yeshiva, and that was it.
Because I wanted to steal the show.
All right, by the way, I hope you do.
Phil Spector?
Yeah, of course. Phil Spector? Which Phil Spector?
Was he like what was he?
Phil Spector, the music producer, who was like died recently. Yeah.
Is that okay?
So Schoenfeld was Phil Spector?
No, you're Phil Spector.
Oh, because I'm running a show. Oh, okay.
You don't want to be there.
So much of that party. Yeah.
This is not who you want to be.
No, I'll take like the background.
So the rabbi wants to get everybody seated and start to Siyum, I guess, and then
Let's make it. Pull this up a little bit.
yeah, you got it.
You got it. Turn this. Can I turn this?
Yeah.
Probably as tall as I get, right? Here. As tall as it from Jewish people. Yeah.
It's for the rabbi, so it's like
It's about your height.
I'm not speaking.
Does he have to like be in? You sure? You're not speaking?
Teammates.
Or both sides.
Did people show up?
No one actually. Chef. Good evening, everyone. I want to take the opportunity to welcome everyone to our Siyum for Maseches Chagiga, Seder Moed, It's an incredible zechus, an incredible accomplishment. Just a couple of thank yous. So first of all, thank you to all those who worked so hard to be able to put this Siyum together. I want to thank Azriel Miller, Saeed Haken, Ari Lerner. For the decor, I want to give a very special thank you to Shoshana Lerner. A very special thank you to our caterer, to Jonas and Kaplan. Also, please, you'll see programs on your tables. You'll see all of the sponsors of tonight's events that are listed. And a very special thank you to all of our sponsors. Baruch Hashem, too many to be able to articulate now, but we thank everyone who contributed to help make this event so special, so beautiful, so incredible. We, of course, thank our executive director, Mrs. Shani Topper, our office manager, Mrs. Michal Weisberg, and thank you, Evan. And really all of those who just help to make the shul such a special place each and every day. I also, before we get into the Siyum itself, I also just want to take the opportunity to also extend a very special thank you to Reb Kalman Akiva Kovacs. So, those of you who have been part of the shir know that I give up giving the shir very begrudgingly. But when I have to, Baruch Hashem, it's an incredible thing to know that I'm delivering it into such wonderful hands. So Reb Kalman Akiva, on behalf of the entire shir, thank you so much for your dedication and your willingness to always give the shir often with very, very, very short notice. Thank you so much. Yeshua. As members of Am Yisrael, it always behooves us to never exist and never live in a vacuum, and to always be ever cognizant of the events that are occurring around us. And so we're going to begin tonight's Siyum with the recitation of Tehillim, and the zuchus of the Tehillim that we're going to say. Mir Hashem, our brothers and sisters in the communities of Ukraine should be delivered from danger, should find in Mir Hashem refuge and salvation, and Mir Hashem, the day should come, that Hashem should wipe away all of the tears. Hashem should usher in a period of simcha, a period of gula for all of Am Yisrael. It's my pleasure to ask Gabi Cohn to lead us in Tehillim.
Shalom alo, Sisayna Elohim, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Ezri, Me'im Adonai, Yosei Shemayim V'aretz. Al Yitein Lamot Raglecha, Ayonom Shomerecha. Hinei lo yonom v'lo yishan shomei Yisrael. Adonai shomrecha, Adonai tzilecha, yad yeminecha. Yom HaShemesh lo yakeka v'yoreach b'aloila. Adonai yishmarcha mikara, yishmar es nafshecha. Adonai yishmar tzizcha v'echa mi'atov yad olam.
on this note, I want to take the opportunity to welcome Rav Shimon Brock, who is joining us from an incredible organization, Menorah of Belarus, who is an organization that is dedicated at first to helping the Jews of Moldova and Russia, but now, of course, absorbing so many of the Ukrainian refugees from the various communities. Eretz Hashem, Rabbi Brock is here in the community, will be with us over Shabbos, and Eretz Hashem for part of Shabbos, and will Eretz Hashem be sharing with us a few words a little bit later on in the evening. Shechianu v'kiyimanu v'giyonu lazman hazeh. An incredible zechus, an incredible simcha it is for us to be able to celebrate this beautiful evening, the completion of Seder Moed, the completion of Maseches Chagiga is an incredible and overwhelming milestone for so many of us. I just want to point out that it's also a milestone for some individual milestones. I want to take the opportunity to wish Mazel Tov to Yerachmiel Buck. Where's Dr. Buck? Dr. Buck joined the Shir last year during Chagiga, and Baruch Hashem was just Zocha to finish Shas with the completion of Mazel Tov to Rabbi Binyamin Edinger. Where's Binyamin? Who told me that he was Messiah for the first time, Seder Moed. Mazel Tov. And I'm sure that there are many other incredible Mazel Tovs in our shir. You know, I'll just tell you a little bit of a confession. I have no doubt that there are better shiurim, and I have no doubt that there are magidei shir with better tools and better abilities to convey, and better technological advancements. But I just want to tell you what a privilege. There are. Even I'm molded to it. It's okay. It's okay. As a wise man once told me, it's okay to finish second. But I want to tell you, while there might be better magidei shir, one thing I want to guarantee you. There is no better chevra than the one we have in our shir. We have such an incredible and beautiful mix of people. Both those who are part of the live shir, those who are part of the online shir, and Baruch Hashem, we're zochet to have an online shir that spans the globe. You know, I put out on the WhatsApp chat, I didn't know about this, we have a whole chevra in Toronto. Baruch Hashem, a whole chevra in Toronto. I'm going this Sunday, Eretz Hashem, to Toronto. They're making a Siyum on Seder Moed. Baruch Hashem, I'm going to Toronto. I've never met these people in my life. I know, where's Jesse? Good, so I know Jesse's father and one other guy. Those are the two people. But Baruch Hashem, they have over 100 people coming to this Siyum. No idea who these people, I mean, they might be coming for dinner also. And it's a highly subsidized event, so that might be something else also. But I have to say that the chevra that we have, and the cohesion that we have, and the friendships that have been created, and the idea that we bring together Jews literally from all walks of life together, is such an incredible and overwhelming thing. And to me, when I come to shul every single morning, and I say by every siyum, I used to be the first guy in shul. Today, I'm not even one of the first 10. And I get there by 5:37, right? I'm not even one of the first 10. It's an incredible chevra, an incredible group of people. And I urge you, because often what happens at these kind of events is we tend to sit with people who we know. Over the course of the evening, get up, because everyone here is part of your extended Torah family. Let's get to know each other. Let's introduce ourselves to one another. Because literally, again, it's one family forged in the most beautiful and incredible ways, and that's the fire of Torah. We just learned, right, that Talmidei Chachamim are kulo eish. But I just want to tell you what we're part of. You know, I went to Shapsi's. I told some of you this story. I went to Shapsi's the other day because I wanted to purchase some more art scroll Gemaras for the shul. And I go to Shapsi's, and they tell me, oh, we're so sorry, we're out of Gemaras. So I said, okay, when are you going to have more Gemaras? And they said to me, no. Art Scroll is out of Gemaras. Art Scroll is out of Gemaras. Art Scroll has to do another printing because they didn't print enough volumes of Yavamas. Do you understand the times that we're living in? It's lo rav lalachem velo tzama lamayim kim nishmoa es divrei Hashem. We live in a time where there's not a famine for bread and there's not a famine for water, but there's a famine, an insatiable desire for the words of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. These are the days that we're living in. I would venture to say that never before in the history of the Jewish people was there ever a run on Yavamas. In fact, I would venture to say there's usually been a surplus of Yavamas. And I take it even a little bit further. Yavamis is usually the Masechta you're going to find on the clearance table. And now you can't find a volume of Yavamis in Baltimore. Now, ultimately, that may be a Baltimore thing, which is a different discussion. Can't find a volume of Yavamis. And Chevra, we're part of that. We're part of that. We're privileged to be part of this movement of Torah. You know, every single day when I come to share, I think to myself, Lublina Rav, and I literally have a conversation with the Lublina Rav I know it sounds strange. It sounds strange when I say it, but it doesn't sound strange when I have it. I say, Lublina Rav, Ramir Shapira, the founder of Daf Yomi, you were never zocha to have children. But every single person who opens up their Gemara, they are your child. And every single day I come into shul, and I see the children of the Lublina Rav. And every single day on Zoom, when it works, I see, I'm not looking in any direction, right? I see the children of the Lublina Rav. And every single day, when there's downloads on this and downloads on that, the children of the Lublina Rav. We are privileged, each of us who learn the daf, to be the children of Rameir Shapira. We are his spiritual children, and we continue his legacy. But it's not just his legacy. We continue the legacy of Moshe Rabbeinu, who was the one who gave us the Torah on Sinai. We are part of something so incredibly special. And I know that sometimes when we come to the daf, there's like a myriad of details, and maybe it doesn't feel like something special. Maybe sometimes it feels like something a little bit overwhelming, although I was so happy to hear how many people had a positive first daf of Yavamas. Right? Everybody's, oh, Yavamas, like it's the plague, right? Yavamas is coming, right? It sounds like Omicron, Yavamas is coming, right? And wasn't it amazing to see how beautiful it was, how sweet it was, how overwhelming it was. Ashrenu matov chalkenu umanoim goralenu umayafa yerushasenu. How privileged we are to have each and every Masechta. How privileged we are to have each and every daf. How privileged we are to have each and every word of our Torah HaKidosha. And how privileged we are to learn it together. A cast of characters. There are specific sections in the shir that I have to work on a little bit, I'm not going to lie. Right? It got a little bit rowdy in the Schwartz Flum section this morning. I wasn't even finished. That was like the best part, and already again it's starting. But it's so beautiful to see how our shir has like a character. We have character and we have characters. We have everything, but that's part of the beauty of it. We're together as one group. We're together as one nation. We're a microcosm. Literally, our shir is a microcosm of Klal Yisrael. You could not put together a more random group of people if you tried. You couldn't. And yet Torah brings us all together. So a couple of thank yous as well. A thank you, of course, to Maishi and to Jeremy. We are really privileged, Baruch Hashem, that our shir we are a global shir, Baruch Hashem, really, Kenai Nahara, all over the United States, Eretz Yisrael, South Africa, England, Australia. Baruch Hashem, we're privileged, and that's thanks to technology that we can become a chevra in a global sense. So Maishi and Jeremy, thank you. I know I caused you guys an incredible amount of agnas nefesh, but thank you for putting up with me, and thank you for all of your incredible and diligent work. A very special thank you, of course, to Rav Ari Lerner, to Saeed Haken, for always taking care of the coffee. Always taking care. I have to give a personal thank you to Baruch Fischel, who's my personal barista every single morning. I don't even have to get up. The coffee comes to me. It's an incredible schos. And I want to also take the opportunity to recognize all of the Neshei Hadav, all of the Daf Yomi wives. Every single wife of a Daf Yomi member has to put up with something else. So for some, it's the alarm going off at 5:15. And by the way, your alarm has to be set for 5:15. If it's later than 5:15, you're going to be late for shir. I say, all right, it's with the alarm going off in the ungodly hours of the morning, right? And as much as you try to sleep through it, at the end, it doesn't work. You give up sleep. Or it's having a husband who perhaps come 9 o'clock at night is already running on fumes. Right? When home life is gearing up, often again, 9 o'clock exhaustion. So I want to just say to all of the Daf Yomi wives, all the Neshei Adaf, thank you for your Mesiras Nefesh. Thank you for your self-sacrifice. Thank you for your support, because without it, there is no one of us here who could accomplish anything. So we're now, Amir Hashem, going to begin the Siyum. And it really is an incredible, and one last thing. You know, we originally were at downtown. We pivoted a little bit to come here to the shul to be able to prolong the simcha a little. We have a beautiful Shabbos ahead of us as well, a Shabbos of Shlomo Simcha, a beautiful To'amel. I think I'll post it again on the WhatsApp group. To'amel, Kabbalah Shabbos, a beautiful Shabbos morning, davening, a Kiddush. The celebration goes on and on and on, because that's what Simchas HaTorah is. It never stops. So for the conclusion of the Gemara, it's my pleasure to ask Daniel Chaver to read the last few lines. Yerachmiel Buck is going to go ahead and read and do the Hadrons. Nathan Adler is going to recite the Kaddish. And again, we take an opportunity because you are a Chevra. We're so happy to see Beth here. We wish our condolences to Beth on the passing of her mother, and the Neshama should have an Aliyah, and Amir Hashem, all of the learning and the Kaddish should provide an Aliyah for Neshama and Nechama for your Mishpacha. My pleasure to ask Daniel, Yerachmiel, and Nathan to please come forward. Good, yeah, perfect.
Thank you. It's a privilege for me that I receive honor for this. So the last part of the Gemara says, "Amar shlagish and or shgeinam sholetet bepushay Israel." The fire of the Gehinam is not going to affect on the sinner of the Kerel Israel. And he learned from the Qalbuchom Mizbeach HaZahav, because the Mizbeach, how come Mizbeach HaZahav she'en alav ella ke'ovei dinar zahav, is just a coded the thickness of the golden coin, and when the fire comes, it doesn't get damaged. And it says, en or sholetet bo, poshe Israel she'meleim ki misvot kirimon, and the sinner of the Israel, that they are like a section of the pomegranate that are full of the misvot. The Chtiv in the pasuk says, Kifela Harimor Rakatech, Atigre Rakatech, Ella Rekanim Shabach. And don't read it says in the Shirashirim it says, Atigre Rakatech means that divided to two words. It says Rekanim Shabach. That even the empty people that they are Israel, they are still full of the misfot. And it says, Al Hachat Kama Bikama, they are for sure that they gonna have the ash of the Gehinam, the fire is not gonna damage them. Sorry, I don't know. Hadron Allah Chomer bekedusha v'selech masech chagiga. Hadron Allah Chomer bekedusha v'selech Allah masech chagiga. Hadron Allah Chomer bekodesh v'selech Allah masech chagiga.
Hadron alach Maseches Chagiga v'Hadron Alam. Daita alach Maseches Chagiga v'Daita Alam. Lo nisnashe minach Maseches Chagiga lo tisnashe minan lo ba'alma hadain, lo ba'alma daisi. Yiratzon lefanecha Adonai Eloheinu leher v'seinu, shetei terascha umanusenu ba'olam hazeh, v'sei imanu l'olam haba. Hagiga bar Hanina bar Papa, Rama bar Papa, Nachman bar Papa, Achai bar Papa, Abba Mari bar Papa, Rafram bar Papa, Achish bar Papa, Surcha bar Papa, Ada bar Papa, Dora bar Papa. Herav no Adonai Eloheinu as the race was Cha befinu befi amcha beis Yisrael. Yen achim betzetzo einu betzetze betzetze einu betzetze amcha beis Yisrael. Kohen shemecha v'lundis rasecha lishma. Oivei techachmeni mitzvosecha ki olam hi. Libi tamim b'chukach l'man lo evosh le'olam lo eshkach b'kudecha ki vam chi yisani. Baruch ato Adonai lamdeni chukecha amen 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 salav va'ed. Modim anachnu lefanecha Adonai Eloheinu leher v'seinu shesanta chalkenu miyoshvei beis hamidrash v'lo samta chalkenu miyoshvei kiranos she'anu mashkimim v'heim mashkimim anu mashkimim l'divrei Sora v'heim mashkimim l'divarim v'telim anu amelim v'heim amelim anu amelim mekablin sachar v'heim amelim v'einam mekablim sachar anu ratzim v'heim ratzim anu ratzim l'chaya olam haba v'heim ratzim l'ver shachas shneimar v'ata Elohim Toridem levaer shachas anshe damim umirma lo yechetzuum yimehem vani eftach bach yiratzon milfanecho Adonai Elohai Yeshem shazartani l'sayim maseches hagiga kein tazreni lahaschil masechtos usfarim acherim usaimam lilmod lamed lishmor la'asos u'kaimes kol divrei samut harschab ya'ava u'zchus kol atanaim yamorayim v'samidei chachamim yamod li u'zari shel samosh hatorah mipi u'mipi zari Zerazari Adolam, Is Kaim Bi, Pis Lechecha, Tancha Osach, Beshachbecha, Tishmor Alecha, Hakitz Osai, Hi Tishachecha, Kivi Yerbu Yamecha, Yosifu Lecha Shnos Chaim, Orech Mim Bimim Smola, Osher Vechavod, and I Oz Leamoyitain, and Naivarech Esamol Shalom.
Iskadav, Iskadash, Merabah, Biamaduhu, Osil, Hiskadata, Yakayame Sal, Yasak, Yasan Chaya Oma, Vidkarta, Yushalem, Ushachalad, Behechala Begaval, Mikarpachana, Nikroya, Min Ara, Oyasab Hachana, Dishmaya, the Asray, Vianachil Koshobrichul, Makusei, Kavi Kare, Bechayechon, Oviamechon, Uvachaye, the Hobesi Soel. Bagalov Isman Kariv and Ru Amen. Heshme Rabba Mivarach, Amulame Yomaya, Yisparach, Vishtabach, Vispar Visma Misase, Visadar Visalev, Visalosh, Megdusha Brichu, Leilam Kabachasav Shirasa, Tushbachasav and Echamasa, Tamiram Yamav Ru Amen. Ayisoel Viarabanam Yal Tamidehom, Yal Kol Tamide Samidehom, Vial Kol Mond Otoiskim Biaraisa. Die Vrasa Hadim, die Chasar Vasar, Helachon, Ulchon Shalom Rabba, China Vachista Varachamin, Vichaini Orichin, Uzan Viche, Ufarkana Mikadana, Vahon Vishmaya Via Rabbi Amen. Hey Shalom Rabbi Shamaya Vachaim Alenu, Vakal Yisam Amen. Asher Shalom Rafi, Asher Shalom Alenu, Vakal Yisam Amen.
La It's about to do the job. Hey, la 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 la. It's geschmack to do the job. Geschmack to do the job. Yeah, la 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 la. Oh yeah, la 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 la. Ay yeah, la 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 la.
Shalom Yehova, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu,
Shalom, Shalom Yoma, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Yaakov Yisrael, Ve'enu Amen, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Yaakov Yisrael, Ve'enu Amen. Hu Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Yoma, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Yaakov Yisrael, Ve'enu Amen, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Yaakov Yisrael, Ve'enu Amen. Lo Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Yoma, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Yoma, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Yaakov Yisrael, Ve'enu Amen, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Yaakov Yisrael, Ve'enu Amen. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 Bani, בבקשה.
I'm on the speaker. I'm not speaking to somebody. That Good evening, everyone, and Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. I also want to take the opportunity to thank Rabbi Eli Cohn for the beautiful music tonight. To thank Rabbi Zevi, to thank Rabbi Moshe, everyone for helping to make such beautiful Koach HaNegina. As I mentioned before, part of the beauty of the Shir and really part of the schus of living in an age of technology is our ability to connect with a group beyond the borders of Baltimore. And what's also beautiful to see is Baruch Hashem, when you're able to have a mishpacha in which multiple generations are learning the daf. We have a couple of mishpachos like that as part of the shir, which is really a very, very special thing to see. And amongst those mishpachos are the Steinmetz mishpacha. There's the Baltimore contingent of the Steinmetzes, but there is the New York contingent as well, and we're really privileged tonight that Mr. Steinmetz made the trip from New York to Baltimore for the Siyum. And as you enjoy your dinner, it's my pleasure to ask him to share with us a few words.
Thanks. So this morning, Rabbi Silber left me. I always like calling Rabbi Silber because he never, ever, ever answers the phone and never, ever, ever calls back. But I get the most incredible voice notes, and I play it back to my father, and I say, Dad, listen to this bracha. This is unbelievable. But so he asked me to say a few words. I have no idea why. It's always risky to give the Yomi to somebody that you don't know, but it was very hard to say no to the Rav. I will disagree, going against the way that I was brought up, where you don't ever disagree with the Rav, but I will disagree with one thing that Rabbi Silber said earlier. He is absolutely the best Maggid Shir. And this is not on a comparison basis, but if you go on the internet, there's a lot of shirim, and there's a lot of amazing Maggidei Shir. And Rabbi Silber is just amazing, and I have tremendous hakaras hatov to my children for introducing me to the shir at the onset of COVID, which was right after this cycle began, and I've been doing it ever since. I will also add, there's an additional generation. My father-in-law, who Kanai Nahar is 96 years old, and thank God healthy, but can't really hear very well. So when COVID hit, he really couldn't go anywhere, and it was a very, very difficult thing, as we all know, for a lot of the aged to be in their homes. And he was very frustrated because he can't learn, because he can't follow something online because it goes too fast and he can't hear it very well. And I said, if there's one shiur that will work for you, Rabbi Silber enunciates, you know. So I said, based on the personalistic integrity, he should try it. But I have tremendous hakaras tov for Rabbi Silber. Thank you very much. I have a tremendous hakaras tov, being that I live in New York, and full disclosure, I don't do it live every day because it's kind of like an ungodly hour. But I do live half the time and throughout the day the other half, where I could put Rabbi Silber on 1.5 speed, which for everybody else is like half speed. So, which is actually very good. But a tremendous hakaras tov to Moshe and Jeremy for really allowing me to learn in any schar, trust me, on my learning you're not getting into Olam Haba, but you do get some of the schar for me learning, and I appreciate that. And thank you to my kids for living in Baltimore, so that when I said to my wife, I'm driving down for the Siyum rather, her response, which would normally be, are you out of your mind, was, I get to see the grandchildren. So it actually worked quite well. But I tell you, I would drive more than 8 hours in one day to listen to Rabbi Silber's introduction today and for the Siyum. So thank you again. Very, very briefly, which I guess is already too late for that, there's a Gemara that has a discussion about which of the three, which pasuk is the most important pasuk in the Torah. And I don't know the Tanaim on this one. We're not up to there yet, and I won't remember it then either. But one of the Tanaim says Shema Yisrael, which of course is the basis of everything that we do. One of them says V'yahavta l'reacha kamocha. And then one of them says, and it's like and I think we paskin, it says, and it's a fascinating thought process, which is basically indicating the importance of consistency in our religion. And the daf really is something that it's the epitome of consistency every single day. We are the epitome of Groundhog Day. Every morning I see the same guys walking in to my shul for davening, and every day the same guys going to the daf, and we do it every single day. But it's amazing, and it is like Rabbi Silber said, it's a family, and it's great because we connect with something a lot larger than all of us. I have this chus also. Thank God my father is now in his 4th cycle, and I don't think a day goes by where I don't call my father and give him over something that I got from the shiur that day, a Yesod, a Musa Haskel. Rabbi Silber has, growing up, I always said, why is Agadata in there? It's like when I think of Agadata, before I met Rabbi Silber, to me Agadata was basically what I used to do in base measures, which is just sit around and schmooze, right? I mean, what are these guys? They're just talking and like, okay, great. And if I came home, when I was in yeshiva, I came home and told my father what we learned. If I told him some of the stuff that these guys did when they talked about Agadata, my father would give me a sprach, I'll tell you that. So I always found it fascinating. But now here Rabbi Silber comes along, and I realize that there's so many life lessons that you get from every single one of those Gemaras, and it's just tremendous. So I learned this with my son, thank God. And my other son actually started this morning. And I knew that I accomplished something as a father when my son called me about 11 o'clock this morning and he says, Dad, Shmelky of Nicholsburg is the man. I said to him, you got to the end? It's gewaldig. But anyway, the opportunity to really bring Gemara to life that Rabbi Silber does, allowing me to discuss every single day with my father, my son, my brothers. One of my brothers is actually one of the Magidei Shir in the Agizel of Woodmere, and I talk to him about it each day and tell him some of the Yisodos that I hear. The stories that you hear, but the lessons that we get, whether it's Shimon ben Shetach, who was probably the toughest guy ever for the manner in which he drank that cup of wine, Rav Kahana, which was quite an interesting story, but it's Torah and we have to learn it, and the epitome of what I love about Rabbi Silber Shir is the rabbinic trash talk of Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel when he points out to Rabbi Akiva, that his sukkah is floating in the Yam. It's just been a tremendous ride. I appreciate it very, very much. And I wish Mazel Tov to all of you on completing Chagiga and Seder Moed. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, good evening. Please continue to enjoy your dinner. It's my pleasure to ask Reb David Kramer to share with us a few words.
This one? Yeah. Okay. I'd just like to share a couple of divrei bracha, and this is based upon a thought that I heard, a dvar Torah that I heard in Rabbi Silber's hometown of East Brunswick, New Jersey, many years ago. So we were there visiting Mishpacha, and it was the Thanksgiving weekend, and Motzei Shabbos was the Aguda convention. So my brother-in-law and myself, we went to the Aguda convention, and I heard this incredible vort, and I think it's very applicable to us and to Rabbi Silber. I would just like to share it with you really quickly. We all know, about 6 weeks ago, we did a Gemara. Rav Yehuda went to Rabbi Bar Chana, and he asked him, he said, there's a particular rabbi in town that he has a very bad reputation of doing very immoral things. How do I deal with it? Do you have a Masorah about how do you deal with rabbis that are acting immorally? So Rabbi Bar Chana said, yeah, I have a Masorah from Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan told me that if the Rav is a Kamalach Hashem Tzvos, you can learn Torah from him. If he's not Kamalach Hashem Tzvos, don't learn Torah from him. And with that, Rav Yehuda got the idea that maybe I should put this rabbi into Cherem. That was the story that happened in Moed Katan. 2 weeks ago, this story repeats itself. When we have the Maisa with Rabbi Meir and Acher, the Gemara asked, how is it possible for Rabbi Meir to learn with Acher if Acher is not a Kamal Hashem Tzvakos? So the Gemara gives an answer. But the question is, what does it mean by Malach Hashem Tzvakos? So the Art Scroll says, Malach Hashem Tzvakos, that means someone has to have a stellar reputation in order to learn Torah from him. Rabbi Silber in the Shir said that the Torah has to come from a source of purity. And that's what Malach Hashem Tzvakos means. What I heard, though, in East Brunswick, New Jersey, it was really incredible. And that is that there's a chazal that says in the Medrash Rabbah that every blade of grass, called Esav, has a malach that has a purpose, and he's assigned to the malach. And what does the called Esav? What does the malach say to each and every blade of grass? He says, Gadal, Gadal. You have to grow, you have to grow. And that's what a Malach Hashem Tzvakos is. It's someone that is a malach that tells to each individual, Gadal, you have to grow. And that's the type of rav that you have to learn Torah from that person. We all know that Rabbi Silber is Kamal Hashem Tzvakos in that regard, that daily, whether it is a gadata that is very easy, more relatively easy to extract life lessons from, or it could be a typical technical sugya in Yavamos possibly, and I'm sure we'll see that we'll see this person dies, leaves the Yavam, leaves his son and a child, and then Rabbi Silber extracts some life lessons that is really incredible. So I would like to give a bracha to Rabbi Silber that he should continue to have the special siyata d'shmaya to extract life lessons from all different types of chazal, whether it's a gadito or a technical chazal, and he should have the koach and he should have the siyata d'shmaya to do it for Maseches Yevamos and for many Maseches to come. Amen. Thank you.
Beautiful song. I'm just gonna play some instrumental.
Check.
Don't be different.
Thank you. Yeah.
אנחנו מרים תחנוננו לברך. All right, good evening, everyone. I hope that you are enjoying the beautiful Siyum. And as you are enjoying your dessert, as I mentioned at the beginning of the Siyum tonight, we are really privileged to be joined by Rav Shimon Brock, who is the Rav of an organization called Menorah, which serves the Jews of Belarus, and is currently serving the refugees from Ukraine as well. And it's a privilege as we close out this evening to be able to hear some words of chizuk from Rabbi Brock.
Bershus, Rabbi Silver, Rabbi, good evening. It's a good surprise to be here in Siyum. I heard from everybody as Rabbi Silver's Shurim is very special. But me, Rabbi Silver is a Shasid. Shmuel Silver, Shas. Rabbi Silver, you said you can get Gemaros Yevomes. In Belarus, we also don't have Gemaros Yevomes because me holding in Broches. 22 years ago, Rav Eliashiv sent me to Ukraine to run Yiddishkeit in Ukraine. One of the main points is to give the Eden kosher food for Pesach, matzahs and food, because if not, they're eating chometz. I came to a village with only one family, Shomer Mitzvahs Eden. I asked the goyim, who's the Jewish family? They point his house. I came to the house. Was an old lady, over 90 years old. She started to scream. I asked the people why she's screaming. She said, come near to me. She asked me, do you know Yiddish? I said, yes. She took my bed hand and she started to kiss and to hold it. You remind me my father. My father used to speak Yiddish. My father had a beard like you. Since the war, I didn't speak Yiddish. I want to speak with you Yiddish. Then she's asking her son, take this rabbi to my house. It's a village. It's an old house, a wood house. Me coming in, I'm sorry, Rabbi Isai, the smell was terrible. No lights, no water. They took 2 candles and they said, the babichka, the grandma, says we should go down to the basement. Okay, I'm between Jews, I'm not worried, I'm holding the candles, we going down to the basement, we find potato, beets, the smell is terrible, and they're starting to move everything. They're moving, and they're moving, and they're moving. And they find a big piece of wood, they're picking up this piece wood, and we find a carpet. And they said, the grandma, the babichka said to give this carpet to the rabbi. I said, what I'm going to do with this carpet? It smells terrible. But Rabbi Isai, this carpet, a piece from this carpet is here. Please open it. What we find in this carpet? I'm going up and I'm asking Babitchke, what's the story from this Sefer Torah? I'm checking, it's open exactly in the same place what I found it. It's open in Parshas Achrei Mois. And she's telling me, 75 years ago, Yom Kippur afternoon, me was in shul. My father was standing in the edge table in the center of the shul. And came the fascistim, like this she said, they put gas and fire in shul, everybody ran away. And my father picked up this Torah, is running away. They was running after him to shoot him. He threw the Sefer Torah, he said, take it. If you find a Yid, like me, with a beard, what speaks Yiddish, you should give it to him. 75 years I'm waiting to give it to a Yid, what speaks Yiddish, and looks like, with a beard like your father, L'Avdil Ben Chaim. I showed this Sefer Torah to Rav Eliashiv, to Rav Ovadia Yosef, to Rav Chaim Kainevsky, and they said, Reb Shimon, you have to show Klal Yisrael. You're learning Torah in Baltimore, it's the same Torah in Ukraine, and the same Torah in Belarus, and the same Torah in the whole world. And this is the koyach from Klal Yisrael. And we see exactly, she said the right, it's Yom Kippur, afternoon, Parshas Achrei Mois. Rav Eliashiv called to his house a professional guy, you should check it. He said it's for sure over 300 years. When you're singing here, Achenu Beis Yisrael, I had tears in my eyes. 3 weeks ago, I was still in Ukraine and in Belarus. And what I'm thinking, you hear the Achenu Beis Yisrael. If you remind the in davening, if you remind the in a Siyum, if you're singing together Achenu Beis Yisrael, you Achenu Beis Yisrael, what you care of the Achenu Beis Yisrael in Ukraine, and now in Moldova, and in Minsk, and in Pinsk, in all the countries where they're coming. They called me 2 weeks ago, Friday, last week, 2 weeks ago, 2:10 in the morning from Minsk. And they said, Rabbi Brook, nothing what to eat. No flowers to bake challah, no food, no vegetables in the store. The Russian soldiers going around. I'm sorry to say, women can go in the street. It's terrible. So I said, what do you want? I'm in America. So one lady said in the telephone, please, go to the President of America, should help us. But they said, what do you want? They said, please, Rabbi Brook, let us to open the containers what you sent for Pesach, the matzah. We should eat it now, because if not, nobody is going to eat it Pesach, Rahman al-Islam. So I said, you could eat it. So they asked questions. We have to make a moitzi matzah to a moitzi lechem in oretz. This is the first shaila. The second shaila was, we have to say shechianu or not. I was speaking this story in another shul, so Rabbi Gross mixed in and said, you have to tell they to make al achilas morel. This is the situation there. Rabbi say, I get tremendous chizuk from Eden in Baltimore. We're looking for Eden to help this Eden to survive this Yom Tovim Aboyim Aleinu Letoiva. It's not poshet. I met old people, but it said, they called me, and they said, this reminds us the Holocaust. We're running away with our little bags, and I remind the Olam to take the ksuvis. Al pi halacha, you have to take the ksuvis. The situation is very bad, but we're getting tremendous chizuk from Rabbi Silver, from the Kehillah, from Eden, from the other Kehillahs in Baltimore, because it's Achenu Beis Yisrael. Yasher koyach, chizku ve'imtzu. You should be Yisrael Hashem, Messiah, Shas, besimcha, be'atzlocha gdoila. Thank you.
Oh, so
Good evening, everyone. If you could please give your attention to Saeed Haken, who is going to lead us in bench.
And then there's the how much would not love it if I hopped on and doing back.
Let's go.
Oh, I know. That's where he is.
By the way, I love playing. You ever play drums, full drum set? No, but I love this. On drums, he drums a beast. I'll tell you why. He understands that less is more. There are guys who go. No. I don't know. Like, he's a classic. I know. I'm not sure if he's told me that. Yeah, he's told me several times. No, but he's the best. I also love playing with him. By the way, you would have loved. Yeah. David Brenner, Foundation Conference. Which one? Oh, you know. We have to. Do you know what key? What's that? Do you know what key you're doing? What?
Key? Yeah. An active higher than whatever you're thinking. I don't know. Take this. Too high. Not for Zevi. For Zevi, it just keeps going. Hold on. See, what did you want? I do. Sorry. Stop it. Who sings it? Dude.
We
I'm assuming yes. Assuming it's the same thing. Yeah. Such route.
I get it.
For some reason I can't get this phone. I just got a new phone. It's not
What? New
only Spotify.
When you say you got a new phone, you mean like you got a new phone that was 10 years old?
I mean,
What?
I walked out. I tried getting the iPhone, the teeny one they have. They only had it available in pink. my phone just stopped working. It wasn't
Well, your phone was 20 years old probably.
Dude, they gave me $100 for it.
Good.
Believe that.
Good. Chaim told me he was supposed to be with you last Saturday night. Where'd he go? At Reiperger.
He was supposed to be with me?
I don't know. He told me about it.
I didn't go home about it.
Oh, so maybe how did he know?
Yeah, Ben was there.
I don't know.
It was a Sharzan event. I don't know, like whoever Jason invited was there. It wasn't like
Nice. No, Chaim, I was talking to him and he's like,